Good morning, Lions from N2. That's better. This morning I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to ask you questions. I'm going to tell you some stories. I'm going to share my experiences in Youth of the Year. I'm a relatively new Lion. I've only been a Lion for 4 years. And as you can see by that bio up there, I have a problem saying no. I'm currently the Zone 6 Chairman at N5. I'm the Assistant Youth of the Year Chairperson, as I said. I'm also the District Junior Public Speaking Chairperson. I'm the Child Safety Officer. I'm the Director of the Nurses Scholarship Foundation. I'm our Club Membership and Youth Projects Officer. I'm also the Club President-elect for next year, and I've been a Lion for 4 years. My father was a Lion, that's why I joined Lions. And Dad and Mum, both Mum and Dad had a passion for Youth of the Year way back when Dad was a Lion 30 years ago. He passed away in 95, so how many years that, 30 odd years ago. I first saw, they dragged me to a national convention somewhere, can't remember where it was, and I saw the final of Youth of the Year that particular day, fell in love with it, and from that point on, my passion has been about the young people in our community, whether it's at my children's school, whether it's through Lions or whatever it is. That's where my passion is, where my heart is at the moment. Why is there nothing there? There should be something there. That's right. I want to ask you some questions, and I please want you to be absolutely honest. What's the youngest member in your Lions Club? Hands up, show of hands. What's the youngest member in your Lions Club? Down the back. 23. 23. Hands up. 27. 21. 31. He's sitting next to you. He's a young 29-year-old. Look, that was great. You've got some young people there. My youngest is 18 in our club. Now, an 18-year-old in a Lions Club full of old men is interesting. She's not the only younger one there. We've got some upward to 3 26-year-olds as well. But it's great to see that you're getting some young people through. But is it enough? I don't think it is. I look around the room, there are some young people in the room today. And it's great to see them coming to these district conventions. But we really need more young people in our clubs. Another question for you, why aren't young people joining our clubs? Why aren't young people joining our clubs? And is that a problem? Is that our problem or their problem? It's our problem. They don't see what we're doing as value. So we've got to maybe either change our thinking or we have to adopt some of their thinking. When I brought the young Lions on in our club, I said, what is it you want to do? And they came up with these great ideas. And we put it to the club and they accepted those ideas and we're running with them now. It's not about, and you're going to see in a moment when I start telling a story, it's about not saying we've tried that before, it won't work, because everyone in this room has heard that at one point in time. You have to stop thinking that way. You have to change the culture in your clubs and grow your clubs, start thinking outside the square. I did a presentation in Canberra last year. Anybody at the National Convention last year? You would have heard me talk about membership down there. And we had to change the culture in our club. It was all about, done that before, won't work, won't happen, can't do it, we won't work with you. That soon changed and we grew the club by 50%. We got the members that we wanted in there. It's the same story with our youth projects. Thought I'd throw that up there. I thought it was quite funny when I saw it. And look, it's true. How many times do you go to restaurants and you see two young people on the table, they're not talking to each other, they're on their phones. Whether they're talking to each other, I don't know. But they're talking on their phones, not actually to each other. And we have to change that culture a little bit. Last night I put a post up on Facebook telling people that I'm here and I'm doing a presentation. I like to do that sort of stuff, keep my family knows at least where I am. The DG from N4, Ron Parry, replied to my post. That's his post, not mine. He wrote that last night. If Lions fail to support and nurture youth and bring them into Lions, then our days are numbered. I had to steal it. It's particularly my speech today. If we fail to support and nurture our youth, we're in trouble. And it's not about bringing the young people in, it's about giving them the opportunity to join us, not just through Leo's. Leo's is great, but we were talking last night, and there's a gap between Leo's and Lions. We lose them when they get into university or whatever. What can we do to talk to you about today? I said to Lorna, what do you want me to chat about? And she said, well, Youth of the Year is a good one, or the youth in our community and why we aren't attracting them here. So I thought Youth of the Year is a good place to start. My story starts like this. Once upon a time, no, it doesn't go like that. Parramatta had not participated in Youth of the Year for 22 years. I don't know why they stopped. The members don't know now why they particularly stopped. They hadn't done it for 22 years. I rocked up to my second board meeting and I said to them, I'd like to do Youth of the Year. And they said, been there, done that. It's an elitist competition. The schools in our area won't participate because the public schools won't participate because they think the private schools are going to win. The schools in the area won't participate. So we had some discussion about that. And I'd addressed their questions. I'd been to the National Convention in Canberra, a public school candidate won in Canberra. So sorry guys, that's off the table. Most of the candidates in that competition were from public school but two private schools. Sorry, argument out the door. Been there, done that. I've heard it before, guys. You know what I did in Barara. Let's try it. So they let me run with it. Again, I was a lone voice. There was no massive amount of hands being put up to help. No problem. I'll run it myself. We'll see where it goes from there. Gave me a budget of $1,000 amid much scepticism, I must say. Let me stop there and pose a question again to this group, and I want you to be very, very honest, very truthful with yourselves. It only needs one person, but you can do it. It needs somebody with a little bit of passion in the club that wants to take on a project. And let me tell you, some people will say to you, it's not a lot of hard work. It bloody is, it's hard. But once you get used to it, once you get in the routine and do it for the first year, it goes very, very easy because you've got your contacts in the school already, right? So it's not that difficult after that. Somebody keep an eye on the time because I'm due to the public speaking and debating coordinator or the English coordinator or the janitor or somebody like that. You know, they'll give you to somebody in the school that's going to run that program for them. I made a point. I don't visit the schools. Never have, never will. If some schools want to talk to me and the students have got questions, I'll set up a Zoom or a Google Meet online or a telephone call. Right? They don't want you on the school. They're too busy. Let's just take 15 minutes of your time, set up a Google Meet or a Zoom and have that conversation and answer their questions there. It's just a series of photos that I took. I'm a photographer. My photographer friend down the back don't know him, but he seems to be doing a pretty good job. These are some of the photos that I've taken, and look at the expressions on these candidates' faces as I talk. That's our winner. That's Emily. Emily's now going to the national final. 22 years we haven't been in Youth of the Year and we've got a girl in the national final. You know, I think that's pretty good, you know, even if I brag myself. Emily's passionate about her topics. We've had topics in our competition ranging from youth suicide. Emily spoke about anxiety and the gender gap in anxiety. We had a young girl speak about domestic violence. Now that really touched my heart. When I get them there on their interview day, I get a few minutes to talk to them about what they're doing. And it's a one-on-one time that I really enjoy getting to talk to them and getting to know them. Spoke to Baha, young Baha, Iranian girl, and I said, what's your topic on? And she said, it's domestic violence. And I said, I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's a big topic to talk about for a 15-year-old. 15, mind you. That girl, wherever she is 15. I said, surely you're doing that from a holistic perspective, but the overall picture is, no, it's personal. She says, this is the first time I've ever spoken about it publicly. And I'm thinking, my head's going ringing alarm bells all over the place. I've got to have support for this kid. She's going to break down. She's going to need some help. She broke down in her interview, apparently, when she was talking about it. Luckily, I had a Toastmaster lady as one of my judges, and she came out and said, you're going to need to provide support for this girl, which we had already organised. She got through it, she won the heat, won the area final and got into the district final. That's from national finals last year. I took these photos last year at national finals. You notice that they've all, for those who haven't done youth before, notice they're no longer in school uniforms when they get to national finals. They're all given a uniform to take away, to make them all equal. They're all given a tailor-fitted uniform. Emily, again, passionately talking about anxiety. Look at the look on the faces. Don't worry about Emily. Look at the look on the faces of the other girls when they found out she wins. Now, one's a bit sad up the middle there, but the girl next to her was pretty excited. These guys form lifelong bonds when they talk to each other. Nationals last year, Emily at our district final. That's the winner from last year. Public school candidate. Bathurst. That's nationals. Our winners down there. Now, I put that photo in there for a very good reason. Remember when I said that I was the lone voice in our club? Look who wants to be in the photo. Everybody. Everybody wants to be in the photo now. I got to tell you, I got so many supporters next year when we do it, I don't have to do any work. They're going to do all the work for me. I couldn't keep them out of the photo. I wanted a photo with Emily, but I got 25 other people in the photo. Selfies by my club members now with our candidates. Everybody knows Elvio, don't they? Yeah. Elvio has to have a photo with a young lady somewhere along the line, and she was a dandy, so that's why he had the photo with her. And we do have males in the competition as well. It's not all females. But unfortunately, our females are the ones that take the limelight. They do very, very well in public speaking. I shouldn't say that. This is not a public speaking competition. We were talking about it last night. It is a youth leadership competition. It's not looking for the best public speaker. It's not looking for the straight A student. It's not looking for the best sports person. It's looking for the best all-round person who you think, or your judges think, is the person to represent youth moving forward. And isn't that a good thing if we can get the judges thinking that's the best person to think about youth? Surely our club can bring them on board, or talk to their parents and bring them on board about that youth direction moving forward. So there's our results. 34 schools approached. 24 responded out of the 34. 14 participated. 22 candidates received. We ran 2 club finals, not 1, 2. One was 6 and one was 7. That was a big day, the 7. 9 candidates handed off to other participating schools, and they were very grateful. 2 candidates made it through to the district final. We have the same as everybody else. We have our club finals, our area finals, our district finals, state and national. And our candidates now through to the national final after winning the state final a couple of weeks ago. So to say we're proud is probably an understatement. I'm chuffed. I'm very chuffed. But I have to keep that in check for the next couple of weeks until the national finals are over. We got 4 candidates from one school. Didn't end up that way. One pulled out. We got 3 boys from another school. They went off to another club. So don't limit it to one person. You can handle up to 6 in your competition. It's not that hard. It's just it's a full day. It's a long day when you do the competition. How does everybody do it here? Do you do it interviews in the morning, public speak in the afternoon, or do you have separate days of judging? How do you do that? Morning and afternoon. Do you do a dinner, or do you do just an open afternoon tea type thing? Yeah, it's the best way to do it. It's not so much organising to do. Anybody do it on 2 separate days? Interviews one day? Yep. There's nothing wrong with either way. It still works. It just depends on what you want to do. And the dinner meeting does work. If you want to combine it with a club dinner meeting, a lot less work to do to get them in to do it. Now, I heard a good idea last night. It was from, how am I going for time? Right? I started early, so I'm going to talk longer. I heard a good idea last night from Chris. They don't have a lot of schools in their area, so they're going to do a zone competition next year. And I don't think that's a big problem at all. I think it's a good idea. But I do challenge you, Chris. How many schools did you say you had in the area?
I don't know the exact number.
Okay. Challenge is this. How many clubs in your zone?
5.
I think there's more than 5 schools in the area from what Danny was telling me last night. You don't limit it to one. You said you want to get at least 1 candidate from each club. Get the schools to give you more. They've got more. Get them to give you more. And even if you're not the best people in the world, you could have a club competition in each one of those if you did it that way. But I love the idea of the zone competition. I think it's got merit, particularly where you've got limited schools in the area. Where was our limited schools in the area? You know, you've got no schools in the area. Was that Tamworth? Sorry, was it no schools in the area?
No, it was the rule.
Thurrool. They're being taken up by other clubs, are they?
Yeah.
Let me answer that one. Talk to the other clubs in the area. Say, we want to do Youth of the Year. Can we sit down, look at all the schools from Thurrool to Bellambi to Corrimal, and let's divide them up. This is my area, this is your area, that's your area. Right? Have a talk to the other club presidents or the other club Youth of the Year people. They may just listen. Worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me, you're going to talk about, I think it was Elvio, because he's always talking about membership. Elvio says, you're going to talk about membership. And I said, well, they've asked me to talk about youth, and that's what I'm going to talk about. But then I was thinking on the way down, you can get members, potential members from Youth of the Year. Don't make it a membership sales process. Don't do that at all. But when on interview day, you get your candidate in, you have a quick chat to them, they go on their interview. You've got about 20 minutes between the next one coming through. Have a talk to the mum and dad who are there. Talk to them about Lions. Talk to them about what you do. What do they do? Find out their interests. I had 13 parents turn up on the day. I've got 2 application forms with 2 of those parents now. So, you know, it's not a big number, but it's 2 more potential members I might have in our club. And if they're not my club, they'll go to some other club. So there's an opportunity there. Young Baha, who talked about domestic violence, thank you. She talked about domestic violence. She's going to start a Leo's club in her school. She wants to start a Leo's club. Now this is a public school with very limited resources, wants to start a Leo's club. Parents of entrance make great members. Visitors, because you don't just get everybody else, you get grandmothers, you get all sorts of things doing it. They make good members as well. I'm driving the cameraman crazy because I'm walking around everywhere. And he's trying to reach up very high up there. You cannot reach a goal if you don't. So I put this up in Melbourne. I love that little statement. And you can't hit a target if you don't aim for it. And I'm a big, passionate believer about that. Here's my challenge to you guys. I think that every club in your district could do Youth of the Year, whether it's via a zone route, where you've got 5 clubs doing it. That's great. Have all done it before? Have all 5 clubs done it before? How many out of the 5? If it works, there's 2 more clubs you've got doing Youth of the Year that you didn't have before. And I think it will work, and I think there's room for expansion. That's my challenge to you guys. We don't get every club doing it in N5. We never will. But one of my jobs to help Diane is to go out and talk to clubs. And I was speaking to a guy even yesterday before I came here, and he wants to do it so long as I mentor him next year. Fine, I've got time on my hands, sure. I'll mentor him next year and help him get his Youth of the Year program off the ground. Anybody can do this, and my challenge to your district is next year, let's at least double the amount of clubs that you currently have doing it. Tony will be very pleased. Is Tony in the room today? There he is. Am I speaking to the converted?
I'm already converted.
I know you are. I know you are. You're a passionate Youth of the Year person. Tony will be very appreciative if you get a lot more clubs in the area who do Youth of the Year. It makes his job busier. That's good. We want to keep Tony busy. Very, very busy. And he'll help you as much as anybody. Is that right, Tony? You'll mentor them as well?
Certainly not, Grant.
There you go. Tony will help you just as much as we do in N5. Any questions before I wrap up? I'm nearly out of time, I'm sure. Any questions before I wrap up? Good. I'll sit down. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the invitation. I really do appreciate it.